Well, boys, after literally all of us getting blue-balled by Bungo a few weeks back, the Adept Uzume is finally here. Out of all the Nightfall weapons this season, the Uzume is probably the most sought after. Sorry about that, hung jury. And this is for a few reasons, such as it having good damage output, having some god tier perks, and not having to suffer through trials in order to obtain. All jokes aside, Uzume is one of the best snipers in the game, if not the best, if you can manage to get the God Roll, which, if you're unsure what the God Roll is, well, you read the title. In this video, we're going to be going over the best perks for each column and the God Roll to be on the lookout for. Also, at the end of the video, I'll quickly go over the PvP God Roll for anyone that might be curious. And finally, a big thank you to Cream Pie, one of my partnerships here on the channel, for sponsoring today's video, but more on that later. Okay, ready? Let's go. So first up, real quick, if you're unsure on how to get the Uzume, well, like I mentioned, it is a Nightfall weapon, so Nightfalls is what you're going to have to do in order to get your hands on it. Now, the Nightfall difficulty you do does affect the drop rate. The higher difficulty you do, the higher chance you have for it to drop. Then, of course, you have GMs, which is the only way to obtain the Adept version. Now, the last thing you should know before we get into the perks, what is the Uzume? Well, the Uzume is a 90 RPM adaptive frame solar sniper. Stats and hidden stats on your screen now, and let's get into the perks. So starting us off in column 1, we have 9 perks. From top to bottom, as you see on your screen, arrowhead break, chambered compensator, corkscrew rifling, extended barrel, fluted barrel, full bore, hammer forged rifling, polygonal rifling, and small bore. Now, of course, like just about every weapon we take a look at, the first column doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So if you get the perfect perks in all the other columns later on, but not this column, don't sweat it. Now, with that being said, the two most sought after perks from column 1 are Fluted Barrel for the increase to both stability and handling, which is going to aid you in whipping this bad boy out faster, along with helping you keep your sight steady when laying into a boss's face. And Arrowhead Break, which essentially is going to turn this thing into an absolute laser beam when firing, thanks to the massive bump to recoil direction it provides. Like I said, you don't really need to get the absolute perfect perk in column 1 for this weapon, and the columns later on matter a whole lot more, but if you're able to, then great. Now, getting into column 2, where we are going to find 7 perks. From top to bottom, as you see on your screen, accurized rounds, appended mag, tactical mag, extended mag, steady rounds, alloy magazine, and flared magwell. Now, right off the bat, I'm just going to be upfront and say you're going to want appended mag for the increase to mag size without a penalty to reload speed. That's going to be the #1 perk for this column that I'm going to recommend. Now, even though appended mag is the best perk for this column, that doesn't mean there aren't other perks that you can get by with. For example, tactical mag, which is going to increase stability and reload speed from 2.94 seconds to 2.76 seconds, along with increasing your mag size from 4 to 5. Then the other perk is going to be extended mag, which is literally just a worser version of appended mag because it increases the mag size by the same amount, that being 1 bullet, but decreases your reload speed. You probably have noticed the trend for this column when it comes to what perks I'm recommending, and the trend is to increase how fast you can pop a reload and increase your mag size, which is essentially what you want because all that just equals more bullets, which equals more damage / higher DPS. Now, moving into column 3, where we are going to find 6 perks. From top to bottom, as you see on your screen, Triple Tap, Bottomless Grief, which always comes on the Adept version if you're unaware, Lead from Gold, Snapshot Sights, Clown Cartridge, and Killing Wind. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw out the trash perks. So goodbye Bottomless Grief. Okay, this isn't really trash, but like I said, it already automatically comes on the weapon no matter what. So yeah, Lead from Gold and Killing Wind. So with those 3 perks out of the way, let's take a look at the other 3 perks that are actually worth talking about. But first, let's take a look at today's video sponsor. Now, I'm going to be upfront here and say if you do not care or are not involved in the crypto space, then just skip this ad. I put timestamps for a reason, okay? All right. I have partnered up with the people over at Dev Team 6 on their project Cream Pie, and that's with a Y, not an I, okay? Pi, which is just what I'm going to refer to it as, is a charity-based project with $450,000 in donations, officially partnered with Action Against Hunger, and they are focused on real-world technology like AR and stuff along those lines. They are continuing to make big strides even with the entirety of the market on the downside. In the past week alone, they have announced listings on Bitmart, Bilaxy, and Coinbit, furthering the amount of exchanges they are available on. Also, they just partnered with Coin Payments, which means Pi is now accepted as payment at over 2.8 million merchants, aka all Shopify stores, in over 182 countries. This is a long-term project that I have been personally invested in since its launch earlier this year. Now, as a disclaimer, please do not invest into or buy crypto without understanding the risk or extreme volatility that comes with it. Okay, over 95% of my audience is over the age of 18, so please do your own research. Now, if you are interested in an amazing project like Pi, then links to their website will be in the description for you to check out and make the choice yourself. Once again, thank you so much to Pi for sponsoring this video and just being an amazing partner here on the channel. Okay, so the first perk of the 3 perks that we're going to be taking a look at is going to be Snapshot Sights. We all know what this perk is and what it does. It's definitely not the best perk for this column, but it's not bad. It just essentially makes you ADS faster. Great neutral game perk, don't get me wrong, but that's about it. Now, perk number 2 is going to be Clown Cartridge. Now, unlike the last perk, this one is going to do more for you than just neutral game stuff. Clown Cartridge is going to randomly refill the mag with an increase to ammo between 10 and 50% after reloading. This is an all-around pretty good perk, especially if you get one of the mag perks I mentioned in column 2. With Clown, a good mag perk, and backup mag, you have the chance to get up to 11 rounds in the mag. To be honest, if the other perk that we're about to talk about wasn't on this weapon, then Clown would be the best perk for this column. Okay, but sadly, this other perk exists. Now, speaking of that other perk, well, you could probably take a guess, it's Triple Tap, which is the best perk you can get in this column. Triple Tap is going to return 1 shot to the mag after you rapidly land 3 precision shots, and that shot that's returned to the mag is from thin air, not from your reserves. In case you didn't know that, then there's a little fun fact. Now, with Triple Tap, a mag perk, and a backup mag mod, you have the potential to shoot 10 consecutive shots without reloading. And I know technically Clown can get more, but if you stop and think about it, you have more control over Triple Tap. All you gotta do is aim and you'll get a guaranteed shots back, where Clown Cartridge, it's kind of RNG. So Triple Tap is the clear winner here. And finally, we have column 4, where we're gonna find 6 perks. From top to bottom, as you see on your screen, Adrenaline Junkie, Explosive Payload, Vorpal Weapon, High Impact Reserves, Demolitionist, and Dragonfly. So right out of the gate, I'm going to go ahead and throw out Demo and Dragonfly. Both are great perks, but not for this weapon. Okay, so now let's talk about the other 4 perks. First up is Explosive Payload, which is going to increase precision damage by 5%. And, well, yeah, that's about it. I mean, you also shoot explosions, but on a sniper, well, that's not really that interesting. Next up is High Impact Reserves, which is going to make the final few shots in the mag do more damage, which over the course of 7 shots plus Triple Tap in column 3 is going to average out to be a little over a 10% damage increase compared to if you just didn't have High Impact Reserves. Then for our third perk, we have Adrenaline Junkie, which is going to be a 33% damage increase after getting 3 rapid grenade kills, and that damage increase is going to last for 10 seconds. And finally, Vorpal Weapon, which is going to be a flat 15% damage increase across the board to bosses. Now, out of all these perks, Vorpal is going to be the best. Yes, Adrenaline does more by more than 2x damage, but Vorpal is the most consistent. You literally have to do nothing and you'll be getting a free 15% damage increase. Speaking of damage, sustained DPS with Vorpal is a little over 33,000, and Adrenaline Junkie, which is around 40,000. And I mean, yeah, that makes sense because, well, Adrenaline is a higher damage increase, but you'll more consistently get the higher DPS with Vorpal compared to Adrenaline. So all around, Vorpal is our winner. So now 2 final things that you should know is, first, the Adept version of Uzume will always come with Bottomless Grief in column 3, like I mentioned earlier. So let's say you do get the God Roll, so a Appended Mag, Triple Tap, and Vorpal, and then you're running backup mag to get to 7 bullets, and maybe you don't need all those bullets and you don't need Triple Tap, and let's say you just need higher damage or something like that, you could always swap from triple tap to Bottomless Grief and then throw on something like the Adept Big Ones mod if you need to. Then I mentioned that I would quickly go over the PvP God Roll for anyone that's curious. The God Roll is column 1, doesn't really matter, but I'd say anything that adds range is good. Column 2, accurized rounds. Column 3, snapshot sights, and column 4, Vorpal weapon. Now, because the PvE and PvP God Rolls both have Vorpal, you should definitely keep an eye out for the PvP roll while you're farming for this weapon, and vice versa. So if you're looking for the PvP roll, keep an eye out for the PvE roll. And that is your Adept Uzume God Roll. All around, I think that with the God Roll, the Uzume is the best energy sniper in the game. And even if you aren't able to get a team together for the Adept version, to run GMs, the regular version is definitely worth picking up if you haven't already. Now, before you head out, let me know in the comments section what rolls on the Uzume have you managed to get. Have you gotten the God Roll or what? Let me know, because I literally have gotten nothing good. So if you have, well, then I'm big jealous. With all that being said, if you enjoy my videos or have ever found them useful, then feel free to subscribe. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitch for the most KEKW gameplay you've ever seen. And finally, if you enjoyed the video, then tighten smash that like button for me. And I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.